everyone, this is CherryEnchantress, and this is your daily dose for November 25th if you're watching in real time, but it can also be for whenever you stumble upon it. It's also a timeless reading. I'm doing two readings, one for your inner world and one for your outer world. So I think I'm going to use the Gilded Reverie Lenormand for your inner world this time, and the Fin de Siquil Kipper for your outer world. And you definitely can watch both chapters. If the second chapter, I'm going to look at outer forces, and sometimes it includes weather, sometimes it includes politics, sometimes it includes astrology. And sometimes I bring up some of those like astrology in your personal world, but the personal world to me is kind of a little more mundane, like a daily energy, which is what this is. And so is the outer world, but both of them can be like broader. It can be like a big picture kind of thing. It can be clues to something in the future. It can be lots of energies come out. So just be loose and resonate with what you feel like you resonate with. And if you don't resonate, that's okay too. Don't try to force it. Anything else that I wanted to say? Yeah, so let's get started. So check out the chapter in the description box. There will be timestamps, and then in the more section, you see kind of cute little chapter that you can click on, or if you're watching it on your TV, put your arrow up, and then you can see chapters that you can go to. So that's kind of an easy way to get to your chapter. And yeah, and so let's get started. I guess I'll think of it if I, remember what else I wanted to say. Oh yeah, I was going to talk about Mercury retrograde. So this is Mercury stations on this day on November 25th. So stationary energy doesn't really do very much. It's kind of peaceful, quiet, but it could be interesting. So let's see. All right, I'm going to take from the middle. Ooh, nice. This does feel kind of like astrology. This is the wheel, and it shows all the different signs. This is also the star card, which is very positive. It's hopes and dreams coming true. It's very much like the star card in the tarot, feeling very optimistic. But it might be a good time to look into your chart and check out how Mercury affects your sign, and even deeper, like your chart in general. Yeah, have your chart done. Yeah, because the key is saying this is solutions. Like this will help you get through this phase. So and it'll help you like with the optimal like things to do on certain times. Yeah, I love astrology that way. Like it gives you optimal energies. Of course, the future is always moving and changing, and we have free will, and everyone else around us has free will. And so sometimes, there's going to be variations of the events, but there is a general energy that helps, like that helping energy, and there's also a general energy that's sort of an opposing energy. So why you have things called trine, sextiles, those are the positive, squares and opposites are the negative. Sometimes a square and an opposite can be helpful in a certain situation, and sometimes a trine or sextile or conjunct can be not always the best thing for you in that moment. So it just depends. So let's see what else we can. I didn't know this was going to be an astrology talk. Okay, so then you have the whip or the broom. So let's zoom on in and see what we get. The broom / whip can sometimes be about arguments, and this could kind of be like, I remember there's one person that I dated who didn't believe in astrology, and we didn't fight about it, but he's like pseudoscience, and I'm like, okay. Like, do you even, it's just I just feel like some people just pick words and then they go with it and they don't even know why they're saying it. Like, Do you know why you see it as pseudoscience? Has anything about astrology, have you like looked into astrology at all? That's why I don't think it's pseudoscience, because there were so many coincidences that I actually decided, you know what, I'm going to look into this even more, because is this for real or is this just coincidence? And it turns out that there is way more to it than just your sun sign in the morning newspaper or in your tarot.com email or whatever. That's when I got a little scratch in my throat. But yeah, don't be afraid to express yourself, or don't be afraid to look into it. And if you feel like it's pseudoscience, well, then prove yourself wrong. That's what science is about. Science is about tests and examining things until it's proven right or until it's proven wrong. But it's not, science is not really a foolproof way of anything either. It's like with science, you have to have a mean, and then you have variables and stuff, but who decides what the mean is? And the mean only works for the information that you have in this particular time period, in this era of knowledge. Like in the past, scientists had a different set of knowledge that they were working with, right? So there's and so with discoveries, we get more sets of knowledge. So who's to say? Like, my mind is very broad when it comes to these kinds of things: religion, politics, astrology, science. It's just like, why should we limit ourselves? Let's keep exploring. Let's be very open-minded. That's a very Sagittarius thing, which I am not. I'm Scorpio, but I just feel like, keep your mind open about things. Yeah, so maybe it's just to keep your mind open about things energy, but let's look a little bit deeper into each one. I'm just going to say the cute little quote from each one, and then we'll see what. So stars, shiny sparkles, guidance, and healing is what I promise. Through a gentle feeling, I am resonance. I am reassurance, inspiration, and a new path for your exploration. Wish upon a star, for I bring hope and light from afar. The key. Discoveries and solutions are my forte. You will find me in synchronicities, signs, and fate. When I land close to you, know that you have the means. I just said means. And the answers to what is troubling you. Look to my right. I point to what is highly important, or what needs to be solved. Okay, so that needs to be solved. I was just thinking about romantic relationships before I started the reading, and so maybe somebody out there is in a situation with somebody that they need to finally resolve this. But anyway, the birch/broom says, be warned of high temper. I bring conflict and strife. You will find me in competitions because I work with repetition. Arguments and quarrels are my patent, but I am not always a villain. I can be found in the gym or in a lusty bed on a whim. All right, so the broom can be about sex, and it can also be about sports and physical activity. So like, if you're going to the gym, then good for you. You're really releasing those things that you need to release through those kind of chemicals that exercise does for you. And good on you. Keep doing that. Don't let anybody say anything different. And if you need to argue with somebody, go ahead. Like, there's productive ways of arguing, and arguing can actually get out some good information. I was reading, I'm on Blue Sky now, if y'all want to follow me. I was reading on there, it was Adam Kinzinger, and he's like, I hope this doesn't turn into Threads, where it's just an echo chamber. I'm like, okay. Well, I was on Threads too, but Threads to me was just like another Instagram. It wasn't too different from Instagram. And I never really was on Twitter. I never really engaged in Twitter. So Blue Sky is kind of interesting. And I think, and it made me think of how people argue. And I think the reason why it can be so ugly sometimes is because people aren't creative or thoughtful when they argue. A lot of times they'll just hurl insults, you this, you that, you know? And it's like, kind of like, go beyond just the insults and like, what are you really feeling and thinking? Like, I feel like if people just really like thought a little bit more about how they felt and thought about stuff, then they may, you know, maybe that's what they're afraid of. They may be afraid of actually finding the truth, and they're just more interested in feeling their feels. You know what I mean? So I think that's kind of what this whole reading is. It's going back to that original thing, like defending astrology. You might be defending a lot of different things in your life, but just, you know, keep it. Like, be creative in your defense. Like, research your topic and really know about it before you defend it, right? Don't use insulting words on another person. If they don't know, they don't know. They may be ignorant, but they're not, you know, whatever. So I just feel like there can be good arguments out there. There can be good debates. Debate is supposed to be about ideas against other ideas. It's not about, it shouldn't be personal attacks. And I think that's what's wrong with a lot of social media things. It just turns into personal attacks or tribalism attacks. You know, it's like your group is this and your group is that, and that's wrong. Like, we're individuals, we have minds of our own, and we're all creative in different ways. And we should use our creativity to express our feelings and opinions, and not just stick to a certain tribe, or not just stick to a certain, but yeah, I don't know, like whatever you want to believe, you can believe, but I'm saying, like, don't put somebody else down because of what you believe, right? And you don't have to listen to them either, right? Like, if you're just not emotionally ready to listen to somebody else's opinion that's so different from your own, you can say, well, sorry, but I can't talk about this with you, you know, but you don't have to attack who they are or their person. Okay, so I think that's a good solution for Thanksgiving. I was thinking, what do I do on Thanksgiving? Oh my gosh, but I think I know now. All right, so let's move on to the next reading. Let's go. All right, let's shuffle the Kipper a little bit. Yes, this is Kipper, right? For the outer world stuff. In the middle, we have, imprisonment. Oh, if this has to do with politics, this is kind of interesting, right? Let's see. Poverty. Dun, dun, dun. I'm going to say this is the outer world, the bad guys, the crime ring that I just talked about yesterday. And distant horizons. Ooh, okay. Let's see, what can this all be about? Let's zoom on in. Now, I don't know if this is particularly happening on the 25th. Could be. You just never know what can come out, because it's like every day a new surprise, right? The distant horizons get me feeling like foreign affairs, right? So something having to do with foreign things, foreign relations, NATO, dictators, people that have been causing trouble, people that have information, also those cables underwater, and also drones. It's I posted in Blue Sky about a news article having to do with drones, and these, like, I know generally speaking, like, we deal with these kinds of things. I feel like the military might deal with these kinds of things sort of, it's a normal course, but some of these kinds of drone things seem a little bit more suspicious, and especially right now because of sort of this heated up energy that's happening worldwide. I feel like it's worldwide. Anyway, because of that, it could be that somebody is going to go to jail, or somebody is going to become bankrupt. I don't know who this is, but you know, I feel like it's a just thing. Like, so don't feel bad for this person. I feel like it's a justice that's coming around for somebody or a group of people. The crime ring, them, a group of people. Yeah. And so the 25th, it may not happen that day particularly, but maybe information comes out on that day that leads to all of this. Or yeah, this is very interesting. I don't normally go beyond 3 cards in a daily dust, but I really feel like I want to know more. I kind of want to know more, like anything else, like a person, anything else pertaining. We got the little mouse here. Feels like the little mouse feels like almost like he would, like the lion and the mouse, like the mouse is trying to set him free. And the Spirit's not telling me anything else. Okay, so I'm going to read from the book then. So, on this challenging card, we see a pair of battered hands clutching the iron bars in harsh prison. The tattered sleeves offer scant cover to a set of bony wrists. Literally, this card is a prison, jail, asylum, rehab center, bank, or military barracks. More abstractly, it stands for locked, any locked, off-limits, and secured place. It represents a sense of confinement, imprisonment, isolation, a desperate, motionless. Yeah. And this has no real particular time limit or timing to it. So I feel like it doesn't necessarily mean that this is happening on the 25th, but there could be something that is in the air now coming up. It's surfacing because in the past readings we've had this surfacing energy, like for us to see, finally, for us to see all the work that's been done under the surface. So the poverty card is also challenging. And here we meet a young chimney sweep in ragged, dirty clothes atop a dangerous roof with his mop and broom. In 19th century Britain and Switzerland, abandoned or orphaned boys were purchased for the perilous labor of climbing up inside chimneys to clean out the flammable creosote, sometimes while they were actually on fire. It was essentially a short life of miserable child slavery, far cry from the sheltered life of the privileged lady. Literally, it stands for grinding monetary circumstances, poverty, or large monetary loss. So somebody could be losing a lot of money. And I've heard that in the news lately. There's a possibility of a very big financial loss. Someone. It could also mean a lack of control, bad position, scarcity, both physical and emotional, as well as bringing down luck. And yes, positive cards can lighten the burden. And so the only positive I could see for a person in government or the outside energy is that he could be taken away or go to like a different Rikers. No, he could be taken to a different island, like I don't know why I'm seeing island, but he could be taken to a different country so he doesn't have to rot in jail. Yeah, and exiled. So there could be like an exiled energy, like you're no longer allowed here, you're no longer a citizen here, you must leave, like immigration. Oh wow, yeah, so much coming up that could play out, but I'm seeing the world playing out in a positive light. So I'm seeing this as justice to those who would like to take down the world. That's what I'm seeing. Yeah. And it looks like that the around it, it's kind of like almost apocalyptic a little bit. So I'm seeing that the person causing this energy, this potential future energy, is going to be taken down before it happens. And that distant horizons feels more like, like a new land, a new lease on life. It's a positive card. It's like dreamlike energy. So dreams coming true. The things that you hope for are going to come true. A better path. and it definitely is foreign contact. It could be that, ooh, and it could even be aliens, you guys. So it could be like our allies are helping us, or we're all helping each other. It could be that that we get celestial help from the skies, from the star seeds, which can, I have this weird theory. Okay, so just, this is hashtag theory, and this is not based on any real facts or anything. I do believe, a lot of people have different varying opinions about if there's other life out there, but I feel like I do believe in multiple dimensions all happening at the same time, and I feel like our past, present, and future can be happening at the same time, and we have future selves that may be coming back to help us, and we can see them as aliens because they're our future selves. So that's, I think, one thing that could be possible. But I do also believe that there could be other galaxies and other life energy and other galaxies that are helping us. I also feel like a lot of us are star seeds and may have had past lives in a different world, and that wasn't Earth. And I don't see how that is necessarily anything too radical to believe in, because life itself is very mysterious and exciting. And so I feel like a lot of this information feels very Pluto and Aquarius, and that's kind of, that's where my mind goes with this Pluto and Aquarius energy. I just see really broad possibilities and limitless, like anything could be really possible, anything can be. Like, I've always believed like life itself is a miracle, so why do we limit ourselves to any other possibilities out there? So yeah, but I'm feeling like, don't worry, I feel like justice will come to those who deserve it, and I feel like it won't. I feel like maybe some of us will go through a little bit of discomfort as the justice comes, but I think overall we all will be sort of liberated into a new land of milk and honey. Anyway, I hope you like that. Faith, trust, and pixie dust.